Radio telephone call for you, Miss Raines.
Thank you. Hello? Hello? This is Ella Raines. Who's calling, please? Yes, it did, much to my amazement amidst all this confusion. We're on board the SS President Cleveland, leaving San Francisco Harbor right now. Let's go over to the other side and take a look at the city. I think we can see better over there. There's quite a bit of noise here with everybody waving and shouting and the boat whistled. It's very exciting. Wait a minute, here we go, right under the great big old Bay Bridge. Since this is television, I'm sure that you all can see this old bridge. Here we go. This is a bridge that connects Oakland with San Francisco, I think. Isn't that beautiful? It's a little bit foggy today. It was wonderful this morning. I hope it goes away. I think you can see just a little bit of the city in the background. We're just about to pass the ferry building. Over there is Telegraph Hill. I don't know San Francisco too well. Here we go, right under the bridge. I hope you don't mind if I get a shot of this for myself. I better take my hat off before I lose it. No, he isn't. You know, Robin is an Air Force major stationed at March Field, and since he's operations officer for a jet flight squadron, he doesn't have very much time off. So my mother came with me. She's sitting right over there. All these very lucky people are going to Honolulu for a short stay and then on toward the Orient. I think they'll visit places like Hong Kong, Kobe, Yokohama, Manila, and then too passing the international date line where all of a sudden today becomes tomorrow. Sounds confusing, doesn't it? In just a moment, we'll be going under the Golden Gate Bridge, which is probably San Francisco's most famous landmark. And when we do, we'll be out in the open Pacific. Well, there goes the Golden Gate Bridge. Goodbye to San Francisco. With all the wonderful things to look at, I almost forgot this is an interview. Let me go and sit down and we'll talk. You can ask me anything you want to. I'm rather glad you asked me about that. You know, so many wives of airplane pilots have the jitters every time their husbands take the plane off the ground, but I feel that flying is, as safe a means of transportation as any other. I would no more think of asking him to give up his work than he would think of asking me to give up my screen career. I've watched him take off many, many times in jets. I've even watched him do acrobatics, which is slightly exciting. But then, so has he watched me drive off alone into the Los Angeles traffic, which can also be dangerous. Yes, I really believe so. Wait a minute, let me get more comfortable here. Television is so new that it'll be some time before there's a complete relationship between the motion picture industry and television. However, steps are taken in that direction right this moment. It's much more difficult to act on television than on, for instance, the sound stages, because in Hollywood we're able to retake a scene many times until it's letter perfect. But on television, you do it once, and good or bad, the whole country sees it. There's also another problem connected with television. We don't know how we're going to look on the TV screen while we know how we look on the movie screen. In television, you have to keep looking around for the camera. Now, there you are. So that even makes it even more difficult. My personal feeling is that television will benefit the motion picture industry through an advertising and publicity standpoint. For instance, every new medium created causes a certain amount of turmoil in the other phases of entertainment. When radio came into being, all the newspapers felt they were lost. Yet today we still enjoy our morning paper over our cup of coffee. Of course, television is a great medium for advertising. Since we're on the subject, please go and see my latest picture. Well, that presents quite an involved problem. You know, I suppose people don't realize that color pictures cost a lot more money for many reasons. Now, you, the movie-going public, seem to prefer color pictures. And, of course, it brings additional revenue to the box office. But in making a color picture, there are many things involved that make it more expensive. A longer schedule, because it takes longer to light the sets. You must take more care with the checking and the matching of the prints. Oh, there are thousands of things. Different makeup for the actors, more colorful costumes. So it goes on and on. People don't seem to realize that making a color picture is much more involved, even for the crew. But that might be a solution to our situation at the box office. You can see your television in black and white, and then you can see your movies in color. Well, now that one really puts me on the spot. Let me answer it this way. When an actor belongs to a studio or is under contract, he or she can do only the pictures at the studio or perhaps the radio that the studio specifies. But in fairness to the studio, I believe that when television can offer the variety of guest programs and dramatic shows and the quality of good radio production today, then I believe that the studios will willingly share their stars that they have created themselves with this great new medium, television. I, as a freelance player, am a little better off because I can do what I wish, and I'm not on suspension. I can do television or radio or the pictures I desire. So that's where we have the advantage. Would you like to know the truth? I'd rather play comedy. In fact, I'd rather be a Max Sennett girl. You know, cheesecake. I'll bet this is the first time that a television show has originated aboard ship. So let's do the old gag. On the railing with the crossed legs. You know the one I mean. I'll show you how it's done. First, you get on the rail, if you can. Then you cross your legs. Then you wave and you smile. Now I'm right back where I was 4 years ago in pictures. Here comes Captain Amon, captain of this very, very beautiful ship, the SS President Cleveland. Hello, Captain.
Hello, Ella.
Captain, they're interviewing me for television.
Where?
Right here or right there.
There.
Yes. And let me ask you some questions, please. How long have you been at sea?
35 years. 25 years with this line. 18 years as master. and every voyage on the Cleveland with the exception of the maiden voyage.
Oh, it must be wonderful to be captain of this beautiful luxury liner.
It certainly is, Ella, and I'd like to take this occasion to make you honorary captain of the present Cleveland.
Well, I'm in the Navy. Captain, does this make me outrank my husband, who's a major in the Air Force?
Definitely.
You know, I could give a few orders around the house?
I'm sure you can.
That's good. I'm sure that our time is just about finished, so will you join me in saying goodbye to our television audience?
We'll be very happy to.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. We hope to see you aboard again someday.